Right, so 30-day update on the SIBO histamine carnivore, what's turned into a pretty much lion diet. Oh man, I'm so excited to share. Things have changed a lot in the last 30 days. My energy's changed dramatically from when I was on the low FODMAP. I feel so much clearer. I have so much more energy. The last 2 days was spent, yesterday, was my first full day of consistent, stable energy. Oh, I've not had it for so long and it feels so good. It feels so good to have my health back, my energy back. It's been a long slog over the last year and a half, especially. Things have just got progressively worse, and I've been trying to treat eating what I believed at the time was textbook. You know, if you saw my plate, you'd think, whoa, that guy is ultra healthy. You know, sauerkraut, preserved lemons, a bit of offal, eggs, salmon, homemade mayonnaise, pink salt, asparagus, some steamed greens on the side. Boy, was I wrong. But I mean, we learn as we go, right? We learn as we go. I didn't get taught some of the things I've learned recently in college, and I think it's important always to keep an open mind and continue to let go of things that don't work. And when we have limiting beliefs, because that's what they are, around an attachment around food. You know, I'm not attached to anything. I just want to get well as quickly as possible. I'm not bothered what I eat. I'm not bothered what I drink, so long as it works. You know, I don't like bat for any side on, you know, vegan, carnivore, omnivore, pescatarian, vegetarian, fruitarian. Eat what you want to eat. I love food. I wish I could eat all food all day. You know, I'd be a glutton if I could. But being a glutton, I think, is the biggest one of the sins. I think that has probably got me to this place, and lack of knowledge, ignorance. Parents weren't educated. You know, the list is on. But the important thing is for me to take responsibility and heal it. I don't rely on any doctor. I've paid for so much private healthcare over the last 5 years, maybe even longer, and I haven't earned that much money, but I've just decided to take my health into my own hands, and I'm so determined to overcome it. You ask anyone that knows me, I just want to be healthy, because I know when I feel healthy, I carry that everywhere with me. I'm positive, I'm happy vibes, I feel grateful. I feel all the high vibrational emotions that we should have access to all the time. I feel when I'm happy, and when my body's not burdened with toxins or oxalates or histamine or bacteria or candida. The list is long and there's a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try and not waffle too much. So 30 days update is the... I started off doing these videos because I got the breath device, the Airy 2 breath device, so I could measure all my hydrogen. I was on a low FODMAP diet, taking high antimicrobials, and it was not good. According to the app, you know, when I was eating things like carrots, asparagus, blueberries, apple, dates, honey, SIBO yogurt, homemade kefir, I was getting knocked about and I was not feeling good. I was not in a good place at all. And let me show you the graph, how it's come down dramatically and how that's correlated with my energy going up. And also, it's not all been sunshine and rainbows. You know, it's been progressive, because I think whenever we're healing the body and we start to correct things, there's all this shit and crap that's been stored in other parts of the body, because the body's not had time to learn how to process it or deal with it at the time when there's an excess. And you can get like calcium deposits, oxalate deposits, crystal deposits in your tissues, in your cells, and they just sit there and aggravate your body and cause inflammation. And so when we start to heal it and we're not putting anything toxic into the body, and the body actually has time and capacity to heal, all the other, it says, right, let's start clearing out the cupboards, let's have a spring clean, which is exactly what I'm doing now. And then if you're not prepared, this has certainly happened to me recently and in the past, but I knew it was coming this time. It still caught me off guard, but in the past when it's happened, I've gone, this keto diet doesn't work, this carnivore diet doesn't work. I'm feeling so shitty and crap, and I'm putting all this effort in and I'm restricting everything. I'm just going to have a bar of chocolate, I'm just going to have some ice cream, or I'm just going to have a curry, or whatever it is your comfort food is, that you fall back on. You just fall back into old habits. You go and have a drink, whatever, and then it's a slippery slope from there. You know, that turns into many days. But I mean, it's okay to have a slip so long as we keep going and keep going forward and not looking at. I've learned we don't look at, say if I have a piece of 90% chocolate, I've not failed, I've just had a little slip, you know, dust myself off, and I carry on the next day and just keep going. And that's where the gains go in, just this persistence to want to get better. And it's my top priority. You know, everything else I don't care about. I obviously care about friends and family that are important to me, but I have to withdraw and go into myself, because I ain't got the energy to focus on anything or anyone else. Because my brain doesn't work, my body doesn't work, there's no happy chemicals being produced, I'm fed up, I'm frustrated with just feeling like that all the time. So, yeah, anyway, massive rant, but going back to the build-up of toxins and how you have this thing called a die-off or a herxema, where your body's releasing all these stored toxins. So knowing what to do during those periods, such as rest is really important, and also taking binders such as activated charcoal, bentonite clay, and I put a bit of psyllium husk in there as well, just to act as a fibre and a brush for the intestines. And what that does is it goes through your intestine, it absorbs water, it draws in toxins, heavy metals, you know, bacteria, anything that's being released that is shouldn't be in there floating around, causing you to feel this long list of symptoms. You know, you feel terrible when you're having a die-off, and so that can definitely help. This morning, yesterday morning, I had a shake, a psyllium bentonite and charcoal shake in the morning. And you know, I find on those days I try to take it a little bit easier in the gym, drink more water especially, and you know, because while this stuff's being dragged through your system, it can also be triggering symptoms as well. But once it comes out, you feel so much better. So moving on to the diet, as I've progressed, I realised that I had to stop kefir, I had to stop dark chocolate, I had to stop blueberries, cocoa, basically anything and everything, and I've stripped it right back. I'm going to show you why now. Let's have a look on the trends on the foodie app. Right, so you can see, hopefully, on there, this is me, FODMAP. There was a higher spike up here as well at the start of the month, and then this is where I started carnivore. And since then, I feel like I've got my life back. You know, I'm not adding any more stress into the body, and I'm doing it in a way that I believe is good for me. I had a little bit of offal each day, not much at all, just a little bit of liver, a little bit of heart, and a little bit of kidney. Kidney as of today, for its DAO content. And because these are like the micronutrients, and if you've got gut issues or you've had gut issues or just any kind of digestive issue, and you feel in a compromised state, the chances are you're low in certain minerals and nutrients, micronutrients, which are essential for you know, just health and functions within the body. There's so many things. Electrolytes as well is another big one that I still do every day. And so having the offal, having the electrolytes with your meat, you've got to enjoy your meat. I've invested in a sous vide that I got off Facebook Marketplace, paid a tenner for it. and I'm going to try sous vide for the first time today, and that's in steaks. And I've done a couple of videos that I'm going to upload soon on the steak. I buy a big chuck and I cut it down into steaks and, you know, different cuts. It's the first time doing it, so it's all a new learning experience. And hopefully I'm going to get some nice steaks out of that for breakfast and dinner. I'm going to have 2 steaks a day. Morning I'll have offal, evening I won't have any. And I bought a load of bacon when I started this a couple of weeks ago. I got some bone broth. At first I was having bone broth and I discovered it was high histamine, and I cut it out, and then I had one yesterday. Thought, I'm going to try bone broth now, I'm not having anything else. And because there definitely is some inflammation still within my gut and a little bit of bloating, although today it feels great, and the bone broth could have helped that. I just made a very plain bone broth, didn't put any vegetables in it to flavour it, because I found out on a breath test, a previous breath test, that I was spiked from, must have been the vegetables I cooked in the bone broth, which made no sense to me because there was no fibre in it. But yeah, it was enough to cause my breath, you know, I mean, somewhere within, I'm not going to go into it, but somewhere within there, I got a spike, and I was medium. You know, I had medium amounts of hydrogen being produced in my gut, which, yeah, was completely unexpected. And so I thought, I'll cut the bone broth out. I made some plain stuff, but then discovered it had high histamine content, and I'm trying my best to lower my histamine levels. And so I've taken kefir out as well. And, you know, it's just been stripped back, and now it's just pretty much meat and bacon. I have a box of eggs over there. There's 3 eggs left in it. At some point, I'll probably, you know, have a couple of eggs with my meat, or have some bacon and eggs in the evening, and see how that goes down. You know, I might not buy any more. I may. I'd like to have eggs in there as well. That'd be nice. And but the predominant source of my food is going to come from beef for the foreseeable. I'm not even going to put a label on it. I'm just going to keep doing what feels good and follow my intuition and follow my gut. I would like to include some of my favourite vegetables again, things that I enjoy that are low in oxalates, which I think, you know, we should be able to tolerate when we're healthy and healed on the inside of the gut. Things like coleslaw with homemade mayo, which I think can go so well with a meal, especially in the summer. It's refreshing. Fruit, honey, yogurt. I'd like to include all these things back in my diet. There's not too many vegetables that I'm attached to, if I'm really honest. And if I'm eating fruit, I'll probably eat low oxalate fruit. I made a list of all the high oxalate foods, which, you know, it's quite shocking, and some sad ones as well in here. So I wasn't taught about oxalates at college. I learned about phytates and phytic acid, which is in nuts and seeds and beans. And the phytic acid, it's like an enzyme inhibitor, and it'll attach to important minerals and certain things that are beneficial for our bodies. So taking precautions by soaking them in, you know, a little bit of water, a little bit of salt water, as would have been done back in the day. And if you wanted to go a step further, you'd sprout the seed or the lentil or whatever it is you're cooking that has phytates, and that also further decreases it. And then if you want to do even more, you'd ferment it, and that significantly changes the bioavailability of the thing you're eating, and also removes a lot of these nutrients from the food. So anyway, oxalates are a new thing for me. I've heard of them in the past, but from what I learned about it, the little I learned, I thought I could just, you know, steam my vegetables that had oxalates, fry. I'd also add a little bit of Parmesan cheese onto them to help, because the oxalates will bind to the calcium in the Parmesan, and then hopefully that just goes out the body instead of them taking other nutrients and then getting stored into the tissues in the body, which is a disaster. And I've been eating high oxalate foods since I'm trying to be healthy. You know, I just want to feel good in my body. I want my body to vibrate at the highest level, to have the highest energy all day, every day. That's all I want to do, and have done for years since I started to lose my health and energy. And since then, it's been a mission of just trying to discover what to eat, what not to eat. First, it was just like, I'll eat all the vegetables, all the fruits, unknowingly that they're actually causing a lot of harm to my body. And I've not known this. You know, I've tried being vegan, raw vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, tried doing bloody vegan keto. I've tried all sorts. I've tried just fruit for a while, just as an experiment for like 30 days, see what that was like. It was fun. I was off my head on sugar. Eating like 4 or 5 big fat oranges before work. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm going to fire some of these oxalate foods out, which might be surprising and probably part of your diet every day. So berries, blackberries being the worst, raspberries, but all berries. Kiwis apparently are really high. Figs, all the good stuff. Purple grapes, potatoes. See right there, those 5. I love all of those foods. I love mashed potato. I love figs, kiwis, berries. I have in my fruit all the time. Rhubarb, okra, beets, spinach, leeks, Swiss chard, celery, plantain, sweet potato, olives, peanuts, cashews, almonds, soy products, wheat germ, quinoa, bran flakes, buckwheat, cacao, cocoa, chocolate, and tea. Holy shit. So if you don't know about oxalates, there's a lady, what's her name? Sally something. She wrote a book called Toxic Superfoods. Read it and understand what these oxalates are doing to your body. It's quite alarming, and it's definitely worth knowing about, because if you've got a healthy, functioning digestive system, you should be able to tolerate any of these foods in small amounts, and your body will know how to deal with them. The issue lies where you've been brought up on a standard Western diet. You've binge eaten. You've eaten loads of sugar. You've had antibiotics. You wasn't breastfed. You know, you've turned a teenager. You've started drinking. You binge drinking. You're smoking, and you're just putting all these toxins into your body. And then the next thing, you get food poisoning, or your systems are low. That's what happened to me. And then you're trying to be healthy, so you eat all these healthy foods. Or the alternative, you've got healthy parents who are feeding you this from a young age, and sooner or later you just end up feeling tired, fatigued, defeated, and stuck on a certain vibrational frequency, and you once didn't have that. So working your way back to health can be tricky, but I think simplifying everything and eating a mono diet, having fasting, you know, I'm fasting like 18 hours a day, 19 hours a day now, and that seems to be helping massively. And so that's where I'm at now, and I'm feeling very hopeful and confident and positive for the coming weeks. And I can't wait to share my sous vide from this morning, which hopefully is nice and tender. I'm going to flash fry it on the cast iron pan once it's finished, and enjoy a lovely steak with just a little bit of salt for seasoning. No sauce, no nothing, just my offal and steak, and that's going to be me for the foreseeable. So stay tuned, and I'll keep updated. Thanks for watching.